Hello and welcome. My name is Hayden Adams, and today I want to walk you through how to create a lead generation ad series in Facebook. Now, lead generations can be basically anything you want to capture from a potential audience. Email address, name, address, zip code, whatever you want, including your own fields that you can put in this lead generation. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to create this ad, page, catalog, audience, placements, budget and schedule, and most importantly, the identity, format, text, and creating the lead form. Now, the lead form is something very unique because it's actually a whole separate design, which we're going to go through. Now, in a lead design, there's the form type, intro, questions, once again, all the fields you want, along with creating a privacy policy and a thank you screen where you can give your audience something as a gift, as a reward for them filling out the form. In my example, I have the file, 7 Powerful Tips to Optimize Your Facebook Business Page PDF that I have linked from my website through the form that the audience can download. What I've also done is run this campaign, and I'm going to view the charts with you so you can assess how to effectively run your campaign and make modifications if you see something that you want to change with it in almost real time. So without further ado, let's get started building, where's that first page? There it is, our Facebook lead generation form from scratch. Let's start at the beginning. If you've never done an ad before, then we are right at the right step. I'm going to do all of my ad work through my company, Nautilus Designs and Training. Keep in mind that you do have to have a Facebook page in order for this to work because the ad's going to run through some sort of business page. In this case, I'm using my Nautilus Designs and Training. To get to your ads manager, I'm going to type facebook.com, if I can type correctly, facebook.com/ads manager. That's ADS MANAGER. And from here, it's going to take you to this back-end section where all the ad work is done. Now, as you can see here, I've run some recently campaigns, including a lead generation, which we're going to come back to later on and view my analytics of what I received as a result of this recent lead generation. But for starters, let's go and click on the word create, because this will take us to all the different options of all the different kinds of ads you can create in Facebook. Now, by default, it's going to select traffic. We're going to go down to the bottom and click on lead generation. And I'm going to call this campaign name My First Lead Generation. And from here, I'm going to click on Continue. Welcome back. In our last video, we walked through how to get to this campaign stage and click the word Continue. From here, I'm going to go through all of these options: page, catalog, audience, placements, budget and schedule, identity, format, text, and lead form. So once again, clicking on Continue gives us a little checkbox and says, all right, here's our first step. We're going to choose the page that we want to promote. I've got a couple different pages, but in this case, I'm going to focus on the Nautilus Designs and Training. And you've accepted the terms and conditions. We are all good there. If I scroll down, if I do want a catalog of products to advertise, I can. I've got a couple of products from my Beyond Napa Valley company, but in this case, I'm not going to select a catalog, so I'm going to ignore the catalog option. The one after this is the audience. Now, the audience is very important, and this is where you get to decide how you want to micro-target your audience. I'm going to create an example which may or may not work for your company, but you can modify this in whichever which way you want to. So I'm going to create a new audience, and I'm going to say, you know what, since I'm in California, I'm going to include everyone that is in the state of California, which is going to be how many people? 29 million people are on Facebook in the state of California. With my current budget, I'm going to target 320 to 1,100 people. If you want to get more in depth with this, you are more than welcome to. For this example, I just want to show you how you set an audience and then move forward to the actual ad. So if I want to target the entire state of California, I am in great shape. Now, since they are using a lead generation form and I know my audience might be older or younger, I'm going to say ages 40 where's the number 40, to the ages of 50, because I want an older generation to figure out how to use the Facebook business page. 40, 50, gender, all. If you want to select a specific language, if you're doing this internationally, you are more than welcome to, but I'm going to skip this for right now. In the detailed targeting, I can also select any kind of demographic or suggestion. So if I want to say browse, maybe I want everyone that, let's see, has an educational level of a college grad and an associate's degree. And maybe they're not in college because I'm targeting 40 to 50. You can go through all these areas in defining your target audience. Obviously, you're going to know the best about your audience. So I don't want to give too many ideas in here because, once again, your company might vary from right here. But the important part is I've set up a certain demographic, and I'm about 1.6 million people down, which is good. I want to micro target as best as possible my audience. So once I've set my audience up, I've got California, I have a target of 40 to 50, and I want everyone that has associate degrees and college grads. From here, what I'm going to do is save this audience. And I'm going to say CA for California, 40 to 50, college grads, and AA degrees. Then I know I'm targeting Californians, 40 to 50, not college grades, how about college grads, and AA degrees. I'm going to say save. And once I click on that, the little checkbox will eventually show up under audience. And now I'm going to focus on budget and schedule. I know, I said I'd hit budget and schedule next, but I jumped over one specific place, and that is the placements. Now, I don't usually touch this because I do like Facebook to choose where the areas they're going to place the ad to perform best. I could, if I want to, edit all the placements in which Facebook, including Instagram, might be placed. If you click on the edit placements, you can see, if you roll your mouse over, where things are going to go, and it shows a little video of what your ad location might look like. For almost all my ads, I don't touch this. I just say automatic placement and let Facebook choose where it should go. So once again, I usually pass up placements, keep automatic, and now jump down to budget and schedule. All right, so let's focus on budget and schedule. In here, you can tell Facebook how much money you want to spend. I generally will focus between $20 and $100. The reason why I don't go too low on a price is Facebook has to figure out your audience. What it does, it targets a specific number of people. And then it says, did they fill the form out or did they not fill the form out? If they didn't, they move on to a different demographic. So you're basically letting Facebook create an algorithm that targets your best people that are going to fill out your form. And the more specific you got within your audience, the better this is going to perform. For budget, you can do a daily budget or a lifetime budget. You can say, I'm going to spend a total of $50, and I can choose what days and times I want to start. If your business set up more for the weekend than it is for weekdays, let's say you have tourists in town, or your business isn't even open on a Monday or a Tuesday, then this might be of specific importance to you. In this example, I'm going to say, I'm going to target May 17th through May 20th. And once again, I'm going to start at 10:04 and I'll finish at 9:50 a.m. Your ad will run Sunday, May 20th, 2018, and you're going to spend $50 total. This will tell you that this is your maximum budget. I generally do not click daily budget only because I don't want to forget to turn this off. I can run a lifetime budget, stop, and then assess my demographics and see how I did. The great part about Facebook, and especially with budget and schedule, is you can look and see as you go how well your scheduling is doing. If it's working great, keep it. If it's not working, change it. You can change any bits and pieces of this after you've run your campaign, which is so great. So I start with a small number really first, and then I jump into larger numbers as I see things performing as I want to. Down below, I don't usually touch these different options. I want Facebook to set the lowest bid cap for different information that I'm going for. I don't usually maintain a stable average cost per lead. As you raise the budget, I'm keeping it the lowest cost. So I generally do not touch these things down here. When you get charges per impression, which means as people see and relate to your ad, you get charged. You can also run ads on a schedule, go away, if you want to, where you can say certain time zones. If you want to run only ads from 12 to 6 at night, you can choose if you want to run this, or just run the ads at all hours of the day and evening. So you can set your schedule up to run, and this is where all the money comes in. And from here, we're going to then focus on the ad, which is identity, format, text, and lead form. And with that, I'm going to click continue and head towards building my actual ad. All right, now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of creating an ad on a lead generation form in Facebook. You have to create something visual for someone to see in order to click on, and of course, click on the button sign up. You can choose between carousel, single image, single video, or slideshow. For this example, I'm going to use single image. I'm going to click on single image, and up pops the area down below to create the image. From here, what I'm going to do is I can choose whatever picture I've designed. Now, Facebook recommends the size of 1200 by 628 pixels, which is an image ratio of 1.91 to 1. If this is a little confusing to you, then please call your graphic designer to help you out. So I'm going to turn off this default design because this is my cover photo. I'm not going to use it because you do not want to have a lot of overlaid text like I have right here. So I'm going to click this off. I'm going to say upload an image. And from here, what I'm going to do is go to my lead form and choose the lead image ad. So I have some tropical photographs from the Cook Islands, and I have 7 simple tips to optimize your Facebook page. It's a little small, doesn't take up a lot of room for text, but you can still see the ebook that you're going to download. I'm going to say choose, and after it takes a few minutes to upload, poof, there it is. Now, once again, it doesn't give me an error message because it doesn't have a lot of text. It just has a little bit of text. Now, if you want to create something for Instagram, you can also use a different image. You can upload up to 6 different ads. And what Facebook's going to do is, whichever ad seems to get the most traffic, it's going to push that ad forward. For this example, I'm just going to focus on one ad to keep it very, very simple. And that's how you set up your identity, format, and your media for your ad. All right. Now we've set up our identity, format, and our media, I'm going to go into the text area down below, which you can also click on text right here. So the text area is what you're going to put in to tell your audience what to do. So the first step, enter text. What does it say? Clearly tell people about what you're promoting. Are you confused on how to set up a Facebook business page? Download the 7 simple tips to optimize your Facebook business page. So what's going to happen is this text is going to go on the top of your ad. Keep in mind, whatever logo you've created for your Facebook business page will be up here with the sponsored word and a little like button if they want to like your page. Display link I'm not going to worry about because I don't have a link in here at this point in time. The headline, I'm going to say 7 simple tips to optimize your Facebook business page. Now where this is going to go is right below your picture. So you might want to say something different or something the same depending upon what your content is. Where you want to say now or something really eye-grabbing. Don't make it too crazy or too long because now if you notice, the little ... shows up because you can't see the full ad. You can also see how it looks in different formats. The longer desktop news feed fits the entire one, but the mobile feed does not. So keep in mind you might not want a lot of words on the headline. The newsfeed link description shows up when you actually go into your newsfeed, which is right here. So if I want to put something a little bit longer, I might want to say, discover the secrets to setting up your Facebook business page that will drive customers and potential clients. And once again, on an actual feed, it'll show up something else as well. The call to action, go figure, is the word sign up because I'm going to create the lead form next. So these different areas you want to put in to create your ad. The top part is the text, this is the title, and also a news feed link description. Once we go here, you can choose a couple advanced options if you have some extra URL parameters. If you do have a Facebook pixel, you can also have it set up there. But pretty much, I'm going to keep it the way it is and just go for something very, very basic in this arena. And that's how to set up your text for your Facebook lead ad. Now that we've set up our ad for identity, format, media, and text, it's time to tackle the last step, and that's creating our actual lead form. What looks a little simple requires a few more steps than initially implied. I have a couple extras I've already previously set up, but for this example, I'm going to create a brand new form. So under the lead form, I'm going to click on lead form, and I'm going to name my form a certain name. So I might want to call this one May 20 to 25, or I might just call this one 7 simple tips to optimize, I will say, lead form. And every step of the way, I do want to click on save, just so I save my draft whenever possible. I always use the phrase save early and save often. And this is how I can start my Facebook lead generation form. Now that we've named our form and hit the save button, let's go forward and add some more information to this form design. The first step is identifying the form type, either more volume or higher intent. I want more volume, but if you want higher intent, it adds a review screen if you want that or not. If not, it takes it off. I'm going to keep more volume as I go forward. From here, I'm going to focus on the intro. And I don't just have it optional, I want this piece. So the headline, briefly describe people are going to have or receive, is 60 characters. So I'll say 7 simple tips to optimize your Facebook business page. I think I can fit ebook. There it goes. Ebook PDF at the very end. From here, I'm going to say image and say, you know what? I'm going to use the image from my ad. If you want a different picture, this is the chance to upload it right here. And after this, I'm going to say, well, what are they going to get when they sign this form up? You will receive this helpful PDF of the 7 tips to an effective Facebook business page. So once again, this tells the viewer a little bit more about the product. You can also choose between paragraph and bullets. If you want to say, like for example, tip number 1, fill this form out. Then we have tip number 2. So you can have both bullet points or paragraphs depending upon how you want to have your form reviewed by your audience. And this is the first step of creating the intro into your form. Now that I've created the intro, I'm going to move down to the word questions. And this is the place where you can ask your audience what will they give you in response to this form. You can say, sign up and receive the PDF. Or you can leave it empty and you can have the generic description of signing up by providing your info below. You can change any or all of the information. For here, I wanted 2 things. I want email, and I don't just want full name, but I want email, first name, and last name. Because I use MailChimp, and for me, I have 2 fields in my MailChimp campaign. actually 3 fields. I have email, first name, and last name. If you want to go into more detail, you can ask about military status, job title, work email. You can also go into work cell phone number, country, zip code, state, street address. Whatever you want to get from your customers, you can choose here. You can also add custom questions if you want to by saying short answer, multiple choice, conditional, or appointment scheduling. Bear in mind that you want to make this form as easy as possible. Too many fields and your user will not like this because they're expecting to go pretty quick through this design. So for me, I don't have more than 5 to 6 fields possible because that'll stop the user from filling this out because it's going to take too much time. But once again, you can choose any or all information from literally just an email to having everything else in here. And this is where you'll set up the actual questions that you will ask your audience to fill out in order to submit the information and download some sort of product. Now that I've created the questions section, I want to focus on the privacy policy. This takes a little more time than you might expect because it is required. For certain small businesses, you may or may not have a privacy policy on your website that deals with collecting data, which you're doing right here. The link text by default says view Nautilus Designs and Training's privacy policy. But the problem is that a link URL is required to have people go to a specific page. I want to show you how to do it through my website, which I'm using WordPress, but you can do it through any number of other websites, including Squarespace and Wix. Now, to get this link URL, you first have to have a privacy policy. One of my favorite privacy policies that I love using is the one from the Better Business Bureau. And you can get to it by simply typing better, or in this case, BBB, and then typing privacy policy. And it comes up right away. So BBB for the Better Business Bureau and the privacy policy. And it comes up right away at bbb.org. I found one from Reno, but there's North Texas. It's pretty much the same one on all different pages. They've just created different sections here and there. But I'm going to go to the one that says Reno for Businesses Sample Privacy Policy. And once again, it gives you a default privacy policy that you can use on your website. So from here, I'm going to go to my website, which is Nautilus Designs, TILUS Designs, and go to my WP admin screen on my website. So what I can do with WordPress is I'm going to create a brand new page and say add new. And because this is a sample, I'm going to call this page Sample Privacy Policy. And from here, I'm going to grab the sample privacy policy and I'm going to copy by selecting all of my text and pasting it into my page. Let's actually go to the visual section. There we go. From here, I'm going to do is I'm going to change the word website address to Nautilus Designs. And if I want to, I can bold this just so I know what it is. Everything else here basically says we are the sole owners of the information collected on the site. We only have access to collect. We're not going to sell all of our information. It's the usual jargon you want to use. You also should put down your phone number. So I might use 555-2252 or email at your email address. The important part is you build your own website or your own web page, whether it be Squarespace, Wix, a custom website, or in this case, through WordPress. Once I publish this, now what I get, once it actually does publish, there we go, is the URL for Nautilus Design / sample privacy policy. And I can take a look at it by clicking on the page, and up pops my sample privacy policy page. What I have to do here is copy this URL and paste it back into the link URL. That'll allow your customers who fill out this form to read your policy along with the Facebook data privacy as well. And that's how you can create a custom privacy policy in the Facebook lead generation form. Now that you have your privacy policy in place, it's fine to do the last step, the thank you page. And this is the one that basically says, hey, you're all set. Your info has been sent to Nautilus Designs and Training. Tap below to visit Nautilus Training's website. Or if you want to, not just view website, download or call the business. I'm going to click on download because I want to give them this PDF. So from here, I'm going to say download your PDF of the 7 simple tips to optimize your Facebook business page. Bingo! You're all set. Download it, enjoy, go. Button text, download here. And now all I have to do is link up this PDF, which is the website link below. Once again, I'm going to go back into my edit page inside of my WordPress CMS or content management system. And I'm going to go to media. And under this, I'm going to add a new file. Now I have a PDF on my desktop, so I'm going to select the files and go into lead form and grab the 7 powerful tips, which is a PDF right here. And from this section, I'm going to say choose. And what's going to happen is in my WordPress, it's going to upload the PDF to my site so that I can create a link to then download it. Now I already have it built, so if I go into library, right over here, you'll probably see 2 of them now because I uploaded a second file, but I'll take the first one. Oh, not that one. Where'd it go? There it goes. 7 powerful tips to optimize your Facebook business page. The URL in WordPress is right here, so I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go over to website link and put the file in here. And I'm going to save this project. Now bear in mind, once you hit finish, you cannot edit this form. It's finished. It is done. You get one chance to do all this work, and then you hit the finish button to lock it in place. And here is where we're going to hit the word finish, because I am all set up to go. I've done everything in here, and I have my thank you screen all set. And that is how you set your thank you screen to finish your form. All right, we've done everything. We've set our objective up, page, catalog, audience, placements, budget and schedule, identity, format, media, text, and set up our lead form. When you hit the big green button right here, your ad will either run right away if you've set a daily budget, or if you've scheduled your payment, it'll then schedule your form to go out and run. I'm not going to hit the confirm button because I'm already done with this, but let's go on to the next screen and let's review a completed form. Once your campaign is either running or has run, you can go back to the Ads Manager, once again, facebook.com/ads manager, and you can see how your form is doing or has done depending upon what you've done so far. Let's take a look at this lead generation that I ran last week and view some specific charts. Now, what I'm looking at most importantly is I ran it and I got 11 leads for $1.64 per lead. That was pretty good. I was hoping to get between 1 and 150, so it was a little higher than I thought. And I want to see what was the most effective audience that I reached. I'm going to go into this area and I roll my mouse over it. I'm going to get to view charts. And from here it says 11 leads, 1,300 people, and $18 spent for the cost of $164. But here's the part I really like, is I want to see my demographics. Now I ran mine between, I think it was 30 and 60, 65, somewhere in there. But I was very surprised. I thought I was going to get a lot more people in the 35 to 40 range, and my campaign ran, and the most effective area was 45 to 54. So for me, that actually was a cheaper lead. And at that age, 45 to 54, I got a 72 cents cost per result. Up here, it was more expensive. So I got a $2.15 cost per result at ages 35 to 44. So how I did this a second time, I would skew my results more towards a 44 to 54 range because it was more effective to reach my campaign at 72 cents cost per result than it was down below, down here, or anywhere else. So I can assess my demographics in this direction, and I can also see who I reach in the impressions, and of course the impressions, which are the people who saw my ad and also took the steps to actually fill this form out right here. And it also tells you if you had it on the audience network, on Messenger. For me, I just had it on Facebook, so it'll just show this one. And somehow it snuck in Instagram, which I'm not really quite sure because I don't have a Nautilus Designs and Training or Instagram account. But once again, I can see I did a pretty good job, but I would have really targeted to a different age because that was a more effective reach going forward. But this is how I can read my performance and see that my first day was my most effective, 68 cents per cost per result, and it dropped to 329 and back up to 135. So Facebook did the best it could in reaching the best people. Some was better than others, but once again, I'm able to view my results and then make changes as I go forward. But this is how you can review your results of your ad for your lead generation. So awesome. You've checked your results. For me, once again, I was pretty happy at 164, but I was hoping to get about 1 to 150. But the results were I got 11 leads. Not terrible for that price point. But how do I get my leads? Because right here, I don't know what the leads are. So we have to go back to our Facebook business page. So in this case, if I go to facebook.com/Nautilus Designs, or whatever page you have management controls on, you can get access to this. I'm going to close my privacy policy, my media library, and my sample page while I'm doing this. What I want to go to is under the page options, I'm going to select Publishing Tools. At the very, 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 very bottom are your lead ads form and your forms library. And from here, I actually got one more person. Untargeted was a one extra person somehow snuck in there. So that's pretty cool. So what I can do is that I can grab, come here. I'm going to go to this Powerful Tips V1, which was the one I added. And I said, this one's open. I'm going to say download. And from here, I can download all the leads, which I already downloaded them, of course, since last week. But I can say download my leads or download by a data range. So if I say lifetime, I can then grab my lead breakdown and say download. Now I can download it in two different formats, your CSV or your Excel spreadsheet, which then you can use to then import into any CRM or any email software. I use MailChimp, so for me, I like grabbing the CSV file because that's how I can use it. So I'm going to click the download link. And just like that, it downloaded my CSV file I can then upload to, it's like WordPress, to MailChimp. And that's how you navigate to download the list that you paid for using your Facebook lead generation ad.